quite strict, you know, he's very strict.
What's it out?
Don't look at what you want. He's putting it up there. He's putting it that way and he'll put it that way. Pressure's on.
Yeah, serve 2-1.
Was it out twice or once? There was alright. Just once. This one?
Just once. That's enough. 2-1.
I was expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. It's coming.
8-6.
Don't see that.
8-6.
What are we playing for this time? 81 or?
34. 11 is enough, I think.
11.
8-6.
I sat down then. Son. John. Worked on straight for 3 hours when I hit a body motion.
10-minute tiebreaker.
1, 2. You said. Oh!
It was all
disappointed. Did you hear that?
10.
Proud. Was down here. Jump. Great jump. What do you do now?
I think you could post on it. 11-10. Game on.
Thank you. Maybe it wasn't it.
11-all. Game ball, left side.
Best of one.
Oh, shot.
Oh. I've only got one. Don't look at the racket, Bill. Fine. Don't look at the racket. Racket's good. Yeah, that's good. Very good.
Just
One, two. 2 all.
Do you want to get that?
5-2, right side.
Right. Yeah, just put it hitting quite high.
3-6. Let's go.
It just.
Watch out. Let's go. 7-3. Down twice. Five, 8. Six, 8.
I believed him as well. Seven, 8. I thought I was way down.
9-7.
I hit the first one, terrible as well.
I know.
It's the first one he's missed since 2004.
Game ball 9.
No one saw that.
One game each. It's up to serve. Third game long. It's over. 7-2.
Just for the record, I love this course.
No, I don't think so.
Keep really hitting it.
9-3.
Okay.
I can see you're used to playing with a lower tempo. 10 game ball free.
I'm not happy, Ref. I'm not happy. You know what we were talking about earlier? Q&A. Yeah, about the frustration posure. I've lost it. Exhibition matches always get me as well.
Daryl needs 2 games to 1, third, fourth game to come off team.
Last stop.
Next time.
1-3.
Great job. 3 guys. How was it?
2-4.
I was not good yet.
No, and they loved it. So.
Half point.
2-4.
Get first one.
5-2.
Got some funny signals going on here.
3-5. Yeah, out. At least once.
Is he allowed to talk in the middle of the rally?
Oh, he's actually not, but
So
today he is.
I was just breathing hard.
Bye, boy.
Cool. Yeah. That way. Anyway.
Seven, 6.
Seven up. Hit it any tighter.
What?
What do you want me to do? Look how tight I hit it.
I don't know.
Sorry, Sean.
Seven on. Six, 8-7. Nine, 7.
Don't play that one, man.
Serves over, 8-9. Serves over, 10, match ball 8. Tie break. Game ball.
You were there.
Serves over, 11 all.
Sorry.
Twelve 11, game ball.
Hand out.
12-11.
Hand out?
Yeah, hand out.
I'm choosing this side then.
Yeah.
In a tie break, can you do that in a tie break as well?
Head out. Swing forward. Thirteen, 12, match ball.
I want to start to the left again.
Right side, right side.
Shot.
Thirteen all.
Yeah. Are you feeling alright, Ref? Pressure's on now. There's a crucial decision. There's a crucial decision now. Pressure's on you.
I noticed. 13 all.
Did you hear that? It was a bit out of order, I think. You said you weren't concentrating much. Oh, okay. Even.
So be careful.
Okay. No, you're doing a great job.
13 all. Game ball.
I needed James's arm for that
I saw it good. 8-2.
Hvis der er nogen, der har set noget, som ikke lige helt forstået, hvordan det er, skal gøre. Så lige om lidt.
Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions for the gentlemen?
No, fantastic. You next. Thank you.
In such situations, after all these years, you've been in really stressful situations with 2 sets down, behind the black ball, nothing's working. Where do you go? Where's your happy place? How do you get back from that psychological situation of being completely blown away and you've got to fight back? How do you do that?
Yeah, with difficulty, I think.
I'm sure.
But for me, it's about turning the pressure. So when you're 2-love up and you see someone still fighting and still keep going, suddenly there might be one rally. Sometimes just takes one rally when the momentum changes, and from that position, if you show with your body language that you believe you can win, the other person sometimes, and quite a lot of the time, can panic because they're in such a commanding position they feel like they don't want that to turn around. So my focus is trying to get them to doubt themselves than necessarily me doing anything different than keep fighting. So I don't think, if someone's outplaying you and you're 2-love down, and as long as they see, if you're playing someone and you're 2-love up and you see them keep fighting every single point, and then they win a few points, you're like, hang on, this guy's not going away here. And then that thought, as soon as that thought goes in your head, and the other person suddenly gets a little bit of a lead, then I think that's, if they're too good and they win 3-love, right? Like, and that's, you just hold your hands up and they're too good. But the only way to change it for me is just to keep showing positive body language and see if you can make them panic or doubt themselves a little bit. Because that's the only way to change it. If they've outplayed you for 2.5 games, then it has to be something mental, I think, for it to collapse. For me, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the really hard things when you're 2-love down is that a lot of people struggle with is they often just look at the result. So I just try and look at what I'm doing with the ball, and if it's working the player, if I'm doing the right things, then I just have to have faith in that. And sometimes it can be 2-love, and you're not winning the points in the games, but just trying to step back from it and not see it all about result and points, thinking about what's actually happening. And it's really hard when you're in the heat of a battle. You know, human beings always look at the score, or if they've hit the tin, they don't actually look at what's actually happening here. Can we step back and just say, is this okay? Are we actually playing the game quite well? And because sometimes that's all accumulating for them, you know. So, but that's why it's so impossible. It's so hard to come back from 2-love, because people, you know, the person who's losing often just thinks it's all going wrong when it might not be going wrong. It might be just very close. But it's one of the hardest things to do, is to detach yourself and to say, this is going okay, stick to the plan.
Yeah, because you stick to the same plan, you don't change your game plan, you kind of just keep knocking up the same.
Depends sometimes, but again, that's tactical, that's experience, tactical knowledge that you build up over years. Sometimes it's looking at the situation, what's happening. Have you got the ability to, when you can't breathe and you've got no oxygen, can you see what's going on and can you adjust, or do you need to, or maybe you don't? So this is the beauty of the game, isn't it? It's so hard, you know, such a challenge.
Just wanted to hear in this match, did you actually try to close the game with your match ball in the 4th game? Or did you agree in advance that you would play 5 games?
No, I feel like you guys weren't cheering me very much. About to win in 4, so I got the feeling that maybe you would be very unhappy if it didn't go to 5. Then also James hits also some pretty good shots at the end of the game anyway. So yeah, I mean, I look back now, when you lose the 5th 11-2, you think, oh, maybe I should have tried to win the 4th, because the 5th wasn't very good anyway. But it was all good fun.
It was nothing to do with me, I had no say in it. It was all about him.
Well, I don't know, a few errors uncharacteristically there. Did I?
Yeah, I could have asked, did you let
Thank you.
2 matches?
No, I just played.
We're still annoyed about the tin, to be honest.
Yeah.
But actually, I noticed you could put it down.
Yeah, that was the best thing about it, was the fact that you could put it down.
Irving just sat there and
chose not to.
Thanks for putting up a great show and some great squash. When you're, as you say, when you're at your peak, how much physical training, or what kind of physical training did you do outside of court, or did you do any, or? Did you just go for the pop or?
No, I wish. No, when I was training my hardest, probably from 21, 22 to until I had first kid, which was 30, so a good 8, 9 years. I was doing a lot of physical sessions, a lot of hard, like for me, I enjoyed running and found it really beneficial for squash in terms of my lungs and lots of variation in that. I think the old way of doing it that was passed down through generations was doing sets of 400 metres, which I did as well, just because I felt like that was the way to get fit. The older players had said that was the way that they did it, so that's the way I did it. So I ended up doing lots of sets of 400 metres. That was like, in the summer especially, trying to do it in sort of 70 seconds and then a minute off and then go again and try and get up to like 20 sets in the summer, which was tough, like really tough session. Like you couldn't do that every day because it's such a hard session, and then you had to be smart. And I got smarter with my training as I got older, because when you're in your 20s you can go hard, wake up the next day and go again. And I sit here now and think, how did I do that? So I feel horrendous the next day at the moment. So, but no, like a good mix in the gym as well, strength, sort of some strength and core stuff, because that was really important to try and keep a strong base. And then on court as well, like real hard physical sessions. I used to enjoy doing ghosting, a lot of ghosting.
Enjoy
which,
ghosting.
yeah. No, I genuinely enjoyed ghosting. I enjoy the movement. You don't enjoy movement. You look like you're enjoying it. For the most part. Yeah, no, I think a lot of the guys, you look at, if you don't follow Joel Makin on Instagram, he's a good one to follow, because he actually shares quite a lot of his training, his physical training. So if you're interested in it, he's a good one to follow, just if you want an insight into the way that one of the fittest guys on tour trains now. But everyone's different. So what I did would be different to what James did, would be different to what Nick Matthew did, would be different to what Greg Gaultier did. Very similar fundamentals in terms of what everyone was trying to do, but they would do it in different ways depending on body type and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of, for me it was, especially as my career has gone on, the off-court work was just as important, probably more important to, and it's the strength side of it, flexibility, mobility, and the science of injury prevention has been really important, which is why I'm still playing 39, and I guess we're both lucky because we've had more knowledge maybe from physiotherapy and sports science about training, as Daryl said, smarter rather than harder. So we have to put the hard sessions in, but we do a lot of work to offset the injuries and the niggles and bad backs and things. We do a lot of work, have a good physio, so masses of stuff off court, really, definitely for me, keep me going.
How has the new generation improved compared to you? Technically, physically, what makes them better players today?
If they are.
If they are.
I mean, I think it's always, all sport is always going to evolve a little bit, and I think it'd be silly. I think often players have a tendency to look back on their era very nostalgically, and I don't ever want to be like that. And I think there were some great players in the past who would definitely be competing today, but I think the depth is probably better, stronger, just more players training harder, better, looking more deeply into it. It's a science. I think just as I was saying about the knowledge of sports science, how to move, how to lunge, how to hold a lunge, be strong in every muscle. It's like, I think, no disrespect to the players of 20 years ago, but it was like go out and run until you can't stand up, and that was very good. That was hard training. It would get you very fit, but it wasn't particularly. It made the idea is it was probably not the smartest thing to do just over and over again. Or if you were going to do that, you at least had to do the movement work and the like if you watch someone like Paul Cole or Gregory Gaultier or hard, that they get into these deep positions so deep now, and I think that's the strength that they've got going into a lunge into the front corners is unbelievable, and I don't think it was like that 30 years ago. It just wasn't, and I think that's where it's evolved, and it's probably slightly quicker. Everything's just a little bit quicker, I think, now today. And I'm playing in all these eras, so I'm playing against some of the best players today, and it's easy for me to say, well, it is a bit quicker today because I feel I'm older as well, but I think it is, everything's just gone up a little bit of a notch in terms of speed, but accuracy and skill, I don't think the players like Rami Ashur were certainly some of the best. He was the best player I've ever seen, I think, with the squash racket. So it's always a big question. It's never easy to compare eras.
And who is the most talented today, in your opinion?
Which?
On the tour, who's the most talented player?
It's a difficult question because it depends what type of talent we're talking about. If you're talking about, like, for me, like raw talent, uncoached, brilliant to watch, like Mazen Hesham for me, because his technique is so different, and it literally is just all hand-eye coordination, raw talent that he's got himself to top 8 in the world, and deservedly so. I think it's tough. Like Ali Frag, for me, I really enjoy watching play. He's such a smart player. He combines so many different parts of squash and sort of into a complete package that is. It's just so hard to do that and make it look sometimes so easy, which he does. And then, I mean, female game, I think Hanya El Hamami is going to be. She's still young, and she's in an era where, I mean, the women's game's at the strongest it's ever been, in my opinion. And yeah, she's talented in different ways. She's an unbelievable athlete. She's competing with some of the best players ever to play the game. Noor El Shabini, I mean, look at the record that she has. And Gohar as well. I mean, she's competing with two of the best players ever. And she's still only 21, 22 years old. So, and that's not taking anything away from the other two because they're unbelievable. But I think future-wise, she could potentially dominate for a while.
Some of us had the luck to see Mohamed Zakaria playing under 19, only 14, and competing with the best. So for the longer future, I'm pretty sure we'll see his name out there. Brilliant player, 14 years old, competing with the best of British players.
It's unbelievable, really. It's unbelievable. No, it is. Age-wise, I haven't seen him play a lot. I've seen a little bit, but and it's not like he's physically competing at all. No. He's competing purely on squash because he's much smaller than everyone else, which is even more impressive, really. So I'm interested to see where his career goes as he continues to get better. But, yeah.
James, I have a question, if it's okay. I really enjoy your long drops.
I don't.
You don't see. I'm pretty sure Daryl, at least he stand and looked at them very. No, but at least in junior squash, you don't see that much used. What is your recommendation there to do? Of course, there's a lot of training in it, but any comments that can?
It's just something that came very naturally to me. I don't know. Yeah, I think it seems to be quite an unusual shot, and I don't think a lot of people mention it. But it's just what I don't know. I just always practice it. I think it's a good shot to have because I can mix it with the drive as well. So it's a nice variation for me because a lot of the time I drive it deep, but then if I can then have two shots that they're expecting. Yeah. It adds to the long drop, and if I don't have that long drop and I'm just playing the drive all the time, it's just too predictable. So I think when I was little, I used to watch Susan Devoy, who you probably haven't, a lot of you may not have heard of. She was a New Zealand women's squash player and I just remember all the commentators saying how good a black backhand drop shot was, and she used to play it all the time, and I think that left a bit of a mark on me. It must have done because I did, I sort of remember it very vividly. and I used to watch loads when I was a kid, so I watched all these old videotapes of the squash events that were on TV. So it just leaves an imprint. I think those were important bits. It's, a lot of the people who've been here today will know that we did a lot of drop and drive. So Malcolm was, my dad who coached me, was very much, we often would start the day, most of our sessions would start the day with that practice. I still do that most times now. It's just a great practice, I think, and again, that's it, and that's what we're practicing, isn't it? So the more I'm doing it, the muscle memory is coming in every day. So it's just a shot I'm used to. Maybe a lot of players don't really give it as much.
But you need attention. A lot of speed to catch.
Yeah, technically, I don't know. Yeah, obviously space is a big issue, and I think a lot of people again today have spoken to about space at the back. I try and bring my body out from the ball so that I'm not close to the shot. So I'm taking the line almost out from the corner so that I can move in. And if I haven't got space or an angle, some kind of angle, I probably won't play it. But if there's a nice angle and it's just opened up, then I can play. I can maybe go for it. And obviously, if they think I might hit, if I'm holding as well and hitting the drive, then it becomes really effective because they're not sure the drive will come. And so sometimes it's not just the shot that's winning rally for me. It's because of the hold and the. So yeah, it's a good mix. It's just nice. I just love the shot. It's a lovely shot, and I practice it.
So do you?
I do the solo. I practice.
It looks so easy.
Yeah, but it's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of practice. It's not just by accident. Unfortunately.
Any further questions?
What is your heart rate during a game like this?
It was 70 harder than Rasmus's.
Yeah. I can tell you if I look at my phone what it was.
Just approximately.
Heart rate's alright actually at the moment. It's my legs that go first. I probably would have got up to like 160, 165, but average was probably, I think my average was 128 in that one. But yeah, I'm probably working at like 140, 145, 150, I think most of it.
And Rasmus?
Yeah, mine was one.
It was a little bit
in average, so.
Show me yours after 4 or 5 rallies, wasn't it? 189?
Yeah. Max was 190.
Did you?
Yeah.
Still young.
Still had 3, 4, 5 points or something like that.
Didn't push you hard enough.
Question.
What is the funniest shot you can make?
The funniest? Well, I mean,
got loads.
Yeah, funny haha is if you try a trick shot and you miss the ball or hit it in the roof, which I've done plenty of times with topspin. If you get the topspin wrong and the ball goes in the roof, the crowd just goes silent. I want to curl up in a ball and disappear, but if you're not brave enough to practice and to try it, then it doesn't matter. You have to accept that sometimes it goes wrong.
He's had a lot of trick shots, on the top 10 lists on PSA. You get on there a lot, don't you? They stopped doing that.
No. Yeah, I've stopped, so they've stopped.
They've stopped. Have a look, and Daryl did.
I just I always enjoyed trying new things, and as I was getting towards the latter part of my career, I realised, especially actually just having kids, it brings some clarity to your overall perspective of when you're playing. And I think definitely when I was playing in my 30s, I realised that I had to make sure that I was always enjoying playing. Sometimes you're so focused on winning or losing, and also this is to make squash even better. We have to look at other sports and the way sports become sports entertainment, right? Like there's so many sports out there that are trying to entertain people, and sometimes I think we just can't get lost as players in the fact that you just win, everything's about winning or losing. Sometimes there's a crowd that come to watch and be entertained, and if you can entertain them with something different and something they haven't seen before, for me that's almost as important, because it leaves a mark on kids especially and other people that come to watch, that And it's only one shot of the match, right? Like it's not dictate. If I get it wrong, it's losing me 1 point. I'm probably not gonna play it on match point or match point down. But I think sometimes you have to look at the wider picture, and if you entertain people, they want to come back and watch, right? They want to pay the money to come. So I think we have to make sure we're still trying to entertain. So hopefully there's some players that take on the mantle. Nicky Muller's a good one. If you want to watch the Swiss Rocket, he's got some good shots these days, some good trick shots.
Yeah.
So he's just waiting.
Mostly for you, why are you playing with goggles?
Oh, so I never used to. Only when I was a junior, and then about 4 years ago, I was playing in the British National Championships, and actually I hit a shot from the front backhand corner, but I felt like my opponent was going to guess to go to the forehand volley, and I hit it down the middle, and he went to play it behind his back, and he hit it off the frame into my eye, purely by accident, purely freak accident, and luckily I saw it coming, and I turned just enough. It still went into my eye. It's typical. It can go anywhere, right? It has to. I don't know why it always seems to go towards your eye. And yeah, I went to the eye hospital and I had a little bit of damage on my eye. So it was blurry for like a few days, maybe a week, but it made me panic. And then I thought, there's such a simple solution to it, and I've got 3 kids, and I thought, why take the risk? This was a pro player playing, right? So it wasn't an amateur that was mucking around. This is in a proper match, and I thought if it can happen then for me, I wanted to wear it to start with anyway, just to feel comfortable again, like, because I lost a bit of confidence in looking properly at the ball, which you have to do when you're playing. So I just wore it to start with, just so that I could play without worrying about damaging it again. I actually played the next day. I just wore some just to protect my eye in case I got hit again, and then I carried on wearing it, and I'm actually used to them now. I might at some point stop wearing them, but at the moment I'm fine with wearing them.
Daryl, we noticed that you rotate your racket a lot.
Yeah.
When you play. How did you start doing that, and why? And what advantages does it give you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it does give me any advantage. If anything, it might disadvantage me. But we were talking about this earlier with the grip, and there's some players, and I gave Chris Simpson as an example, who just has the same grip, and he is able to play backhand and forehand with exactly the same without having to change his grip. But if I hold my racket as I really want to hold it, in terms of the way I want to grip it, I don't feel that it doesn't feel like I can do the same on both sides. So my forehand, like, I want to hit it nice and open, and then if I do the same on the backhand, I don't feel like it's open enough to do the same on the backhand as well. So I feel like I have to rotate it or change my grip to do that.
Yeah,
and
but also, you did the top spin sometimes when you drop and so on.
Yeah.
So
so I have to change my grip. That's why I can do those shots, right? Because I'm not just holding the racket in the same. I'm actually changing the shape of the racket all the time. Yeah, there's a few players that used to do it. Lawrence LJ Benjamin, who was Dutch #1 and top 10 player. He did it like even worse. I say worse than me, but more than me. He would literally do a double, triple change of his grip in between. If you go and watch any of his matches, he's literally and then he hits it. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'm pretty sure that you have left your mark. At least here.
Okay, good. Yeah. Could tell in between the games.
Der er åben for reception. Alle er velkomne. Det er hen i gangen, til højre, til højre, til højre. Det er det eneste felt, der er åbent. Og så når vi lige op. Så hvis I går derhen, alle sammen. Yes. Skal alle juniorerne herinde?
Vil du ikke tage billeder? Tak.
I skal bare forvente. Og det var efter, det står bare
Ja.